In this video, I will show you how to make Eierlikör. Eierlikör is also known as Verpoorten or Advocaat. It is an egg schnapps that we Germans like year-round, but especially around Easter. It is an important ingredient for many drinks, but also for baking. So stay tuned and I will show you how I make Eierlikör and also how to make a delicious drink that you might want to have for your Easter brunch. I've actually covered already 2 recipes with Eierlikör that I can highly recommend. So there's, for example, the Eierlikör Torte, and that is something I can't describe how good that is. You really have to try it. I made this video 2 years ago and I think it is very underestimated. You should definitely check it out here. I will also link it at the end of this video. Same with a drink that we call Schneeflockerl, which is a hot version of the Eierlikör. And you might think that it is kind of odd that we drink it in spring, while you know kind of the eggnog is something that Americans enjoy more in fall, around Thanksgiving and Christmas. But so the Eierlikör has a lot more percentage and it is really a schnapps that you shouldn't drink like in a tall glass. So it is also known as something that the older ladies like to drink after their coffee hour. It is a little bit of an old lady reputation that this drink has, but I don't think that is correct. It's really delicious, so stay tuned. For the ingredients today, I would just use half the recipe because I still have some Eierlikör in the fridge, but I will tell you the regular ingredients. So usually you will have 8 egg yolks, and the quality of the eggs really matters in this recipe. I'm using organic eggs from grain-fed chickens. I recommend that. And since you don't eat the egg whites, I can recommend making the cookies that I baked last week, the Russian bread. The recipe is here. Okay, then you need 250 grams of confectioner's sugar, 250 milliliters of white rum or vodka, 250 milliliters of either whipping cream or condensed milk. And if you use condensed milk, it's usually already sweetened. So in that case, I would reduce the amount of confectioner's sugar in the recipe. Then later, for the drink that I want to show you, I will need some fresh strawberries, some sugar also, but not shown here, some fresh brewed coffee and some whipped cream. So this recipe is quite simple. You basically use a metal bowl and add all the ingredients in there. So just whisk this here. So now I want to heat this over hot water. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to avoid the salmonella bacteria, of course. Some people don't do that and they just use the raw eggs like this and don't heat this up. I think that's a little bit too dangerous, but suit yourself. So I will put this over a pot with hot water and I will continue to stir this. And I will heat it up to 70 degrees Celsius, which is 158 degrees Fahrenheit. So after a while you will notice that the mass is starting to thicken, which is a good thing, but you should definitely not allow this to boil. So little bubbles are okay, but it should not start to boil, and you really need to constantly stir this so that the egg doesn't turn into some scrambled eggs. I'll measure the temperature again. And once it has reached the desired temperature, continue to stir this for about 8 minutes and keep it at this temperature if possible. That should definitely kill all the salmonella if they are somewhere in here. So the 8 minutes are almost up. And I wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit what you can do with Eierlikör. You can make ice cream with it, or you can just pour it on top of ice cream. So basically, I mean, if you look at it, it looks very much like vanilla sauce. You can basically use it everywhere where you would usually put some vanilla sauce on top. That is a very good combination with all kinds of ice creams. As I mentioned before, there are lots of drinks, cocktails, long drinks that have Eierlikör in them. I might share some of these drink recipes later this year. As I mentioned before, you can bake with it. You can use it as an ingredient in the cake, or you can top a cake with it. Then you can make desserts with Eierlikör, so lots of uses for it, and I will definitely come back to this ingredient every now and then. So yeah, time's up. Now I can fill this into a bottle now and let it cool. And if you keep it chilled in the fridge, this will be good for about 4 weeks. And I would be surprised if it lasts that long. So now we get to the next recipe in this video, and I will show you how to make a very delicious drink with that. So for our Eierlikör coffee drink that you might want to have for Easter brunch or any other time, I have some strawberries, sugar, the Eierlikör or Verpoorten, and some fresh brewed coffee, also some whipped cream. So I quickly have to turn these strawberries into a puree, and I will quickly do that in my machine here. I'll be back in a second. Okay, now, so I start with the strawberry puree, and I will just fill this to the bottom of the glasses. So next comes the Eierlikör, and I will let this go over the back of a spoon so it will not mix too much with the strawberries. And now the coffee. And finally the whipping cream. Well, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Try it out. The homemade Eierlikör is so much better than the store-bought one. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for the next video. Like, subscribe, and I hope I see you next Saturday when I publish my next video.